Welcome to Learning in the Making. I'm your host, Iran. My pronouns are she and her. Here on Learning in the Making, we invite you to join us in project based learning where we make projects to discover, understand, and ultimately make the world around us. Today, I am joined by one of my favorite young people in the world, scholar Chimezie Wyatt. Hi, Chimezie. How are you today?
Good, thank you. I'm really glad to be here.
I'm very glad to have you. Chimezie is in eighth grade. She's a scholar, an athlete. She loves soccer. She loves STEAM, which is what we're here doing today. She loves hanging out with friends and family, and I am super, super grateful to have her here on the show today. Today marks episode 16 of Learning in the Making. Last episode, we talked about self love. We made cardboard headgear that displayed to the world what we loved about ourselves. And today, Chimezie and I will be making self care boxes. Chimezie, can you hold up your self care box? Yeah, thank you. So today, Chimezie and I will be making self-care boxes and talking about something called emotional regulation. Chimezie, can you tell the folks who are watching what materials they will need to follow along with today's project?
Yes. Okay, so you need a small or medium-sized box or bag. This could be an old shoebox or a cardboard box or a plastic box or any type of box basically. And you also need sensory materials such as Velcro, putty, candles, paper, and more. And then lastly, you'll need supplies like tape, glue, scissors, pens, papers, markers, and different decorations of your choice. Um, yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Chimezie. So today we're making self-care boxes because the things that happen around us in our environment have an impact on how we feel. It affects how we feel. And at times, our emotions can feel so strong that it's overwhelming. Chimezie, have you ever experienced overwhelming emotions?
Yes, I have. I've been overwhelmed by my emotions before, and mainly the circumstance where I have a lot of work to do and not that much time to do it. Because doing well in school is pretty important to me. So if an assignment or multiple assignments could change that, sometimes I get overwhelmed. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I honestly have felt that way all week. I really resonate with that, having so much work to do and really wanting to do it well, and then kind of feeling overwhelmed by that and overwhelmed by time and all those things. Um, so the cool thing is that our bodies are actually designed to communicate with us around what we need. And so our emotions, as well as sensations in the body, are the messengers to us. And when we feel really strong emotions like fear, anger, or sadness, we don't have to judge those emotions because our emotions are here to communicate with us. And really, no emotions are good or bad. They just are, and we don't have to judge them. But we can notice them and we can regulate them. So emotional regulation is when we notice strong emotions arising in us and we take the time to respond to those emotions using tools. And today we're going to talk about a tool that we can use to respond instead of reacting when we have really strong emotions. Chimezie, what does emotional regulation mean to you?
To me, emotional regulation means instead of panicking about being overwhelmed or being stressed, try to do something to change it or control it because being panicked about stressful things could cause you to be even more overwhelmed and stressed. So have a proactive mindset based on around emotions rather than a reactive mindset.
I love that. I really do. A proactive mindset instead of a reactive mindset. Exactly. And so, one way we can have those proactive mindsets is actually to prepare for when we have strong emotions because we know we're going to have them. Things are going to come up, it's going to affect us, and we're going to have strong emotions. And so, if we take time to prepare like we will today by making self-care boxes, then we'll be ready. And so one tool that we can use is called a sensory object. So a sensory object is an object that can be felt by one of the five senses. And the five senses are taste, touch, smell, sound, and sight. And so different different colors, different scents, different textures, different tastes, they all affect us differently, right? So, for example, the smell of lavender, which I just learned Chemezi and I both love, the smell of lavender can be really calming, really soothing to our senses. Whereas the smell of a garbage can is not quite soothing, right? Like that might make us actually feel sick to our stomach. Or in regards to touch, right? Like the touch of a cactus might feel painful to our senses, whereas the touch to something like slime might feel fun and playful and relaxing to our senses. So today, what we are going to do is explore different sensory objects that can calm us during times where we feel overwhelming emotions. Um, Sensory objects have the power to really bring us from our internal world, our internal stress, into our external or outside world. And it gives us something to focus on that is outside of our emotions, but inside of our bodies, really connecting with our bodies. So Chimezie, what sensory items do you have in your self-care box?
Okay, so I actually have a lavender scented shea butter. Um, I also have a stress ball, and I have a soft brush. It's calming. It feels nice, and a snow globe that has like glitter in it, so when you shake it, you can see it all fall over the place. And then a mouse you can click just to calm you down. And then lastly, I have some sour candy for the taste sense because I just really like that candy, so it makes me happy a lot of times.
Thank you for sharing. I feel like Chimezie and I have so much in common. I also really love sour candies. Um, in my self care box, I have, let's see. So here's my self care box, and in it, I have for the smell sense, I have some essential oil here that has a really soothing smell to me. And so sometimes I like to smell this in the morning um, before I start my day. And it really brings like a calm and focused mindset to me. Another thing I have is this hacky sack. And so the hacky sack is kind of squishy. It has like little sand inside. It also has a little bit of a sound if you shake it. And it's also something that's playful. You can throw it, you can hit it, you can kick it. I also have some, what is this called? I have some I'm completely blanking.
Pipe,
Chimezie, what is this called?
pipe cleaners, I
Pipe
think.
cleaner. Pipe cleaner. Yes, I have some pipe cleaner that has a really like fuzzy feel to it, but is also really bendable and colorful. And so I can build things with it when I'm feeling strong emotions. I can make some art. I also have some Play-Doh, which is very similar to the pipe cleaner, and I can use it to build something, but it also has kind of a soft feel to it. Similar to Chemesier, I have this mindful glitter jar. And so this mindful glitter jar has glitter in it, and I made it by adding water and a little bit of soap and some food coloring dye. And the way it works is you shake it up and it makes the glitter float around everywhere. And when you are feeling super strong emotions, you can shake it up and watch all the glitter float around. And you can also watch the glitter as it settles to the bottom. And it takes a little bit of time for that to happen. And so, what you might notice is that as you watch the glitter settle towards the bottom, your emotions are doing the same thing, and it's bringing you back into that calm state. The last few things I have are stuffed animal that I love. Lion King's one of my favorite movies. A piece of chocolate for that taste sense, and this jar of googly eyes that's just kind of fun to look at and also shake up. And that is what is in my self-care box. So Chemesier, let me ask you, if you were feeling that overwhelm and maybe you had a lot of assignments due, your emotions are feeling a little heavy, what might be your first go-to in your self-care box?
My first go-to in my self-care box would definitely be the sour candy, because I would take a break, maybe a 10-minute or 15-minute break from all my work to just calm down, de-stress, and eat them. It would help a lot because it would probably just make me happier and have a better mindset to go back into my work and get it done, like, well too.
Yeah, very good, very good. Do you have any final advice for young folks who are watching, folks who might be your age or younger or even older? What advice would you have for them around emotional regulation?
My advice would be definitely make some sort of version of the sensory box to have it near you, especially during distance learning, because I know that sometimes it can get overwhelming. So you don't have to have the entire box if you don't have like that enough space for it. Maybe have just a sensory object on your desk most of the time. And also, it's totally okay to get overwhelmed sometimes. Just be able to sit down with yourself and try to deal with it without panicking, because a lot of times that just makes it worse. So, yeah, yeah.
Thank you. That's great advice. I appreciate that advice. I need that advice myself. So if you are watching at home, Chemesier and I invite you to look around your space and explore different sensory objects that go with a few of these senses: taste, touch, smell, sound, and sight, and collect maybe 3 to 5 different objects that can be in your self-care kit, your self-care box. And when you're done, you can decorate your box, you can make it unique, you can make it your own. And then we want to see what you've made. So you can share with us at MakerEd.org using the hashtag SelfCareBox. And we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, if you're looking for more activities, more resources, especially during these distance learning times, you can check out more resources at the Maker Ed website blog. It's been super great to be with y'all today. It's been super great to be with you, Chimezie. I'm so glad that we got to connect in this way. And I'm really wishing all the best for you. And yeah, take care.